Alright, hello everybody, Skyrain here, back again with another Diablo Immortal video. Now, this one is simply going to go over the state of Battlegrounds and the changes involved. Oh, first of all though, if anybody's curious, I just now finally reached 10 on the Battle Pass. So you can see the selection that we have for legendaries at level 10 is a pair of pants. And for Wizard, this is our selection. I haven't picked it yet because I just hit it. And I wanted to save that for this particular moment. So in this case, nothing new. For me anyway, I have everything for all the essences, so I can just pick any of these and it's not going to matter. But there you go. One more time. That's the assortment to choose from. Pause it if you need to. There you go. Alright, now, as far as Battlegrounds and stuff goes, the season so far, along with the changes, has made for, I don't know, it's not necessarily actually too terrible, but the matchmaking is kind of odd. And of course, just starting a new season, it's always going to be pretty rough and pretty wildly spread out. There are numerous and even still where I'm currently at in Battlegrounds ranks, still getting triple-digit reso return to bonus players in our teams, and that could be very detrimental. I'd say more so on attack than defense because, you know, I mean, they still get like that buff to kind of keep things a little bit more in line to a point, so they're not completely, you know, complete squish, but at the same time not so much, and they still kind of are, and they can only contribute so much given everything. And then you could say the same thing about me at times, but I still seem to somehow make it work whenever I can anyway. So that brings me to the point of the balance patch that has happened as far as Wizard goes, and as far as I've been able to test a few things out so far. There's some other things I want to try as well. I really like this blue buff. This is from Darkwood, by the way. You know, whenever you have to do the Tree of Inifis. I do like the look of it. It's just irritating that when you have to do it again. Anyway. Side tangent there, but yeah, as far as the balance patch happened with Wizard recently, what I'm trying to say in Battlegrounds is we have options. There are options for Wizard, free to play or otherwise, obviously, or otherwise. That's easy, but as far as the free to play aspect goes, it's a little bit more difficult because you have to pick and choose your spots with a lot of things, and there's still only so many builds that are, you know, more or less definitely viable, and like the pure tank ones, maybe not. I haven't tried it yet myself recently with all these changes to, like, say, the diminishing returns on CCs. I'm sure that has affected a lot of other classes, maybe even more so than Wizard, which that's saying something. But as far as Wizard goes, though, the Ice Storm Freeze still is effective. Granted, you know, the damage is going to be a little bit less, but it's still as effective. I already did a video on this, but that's still effective. It serves its purpose. It still can lock things down. You know, it all also depends on what team you have. Again, in all of the matches, no matter what, it always boils down to your team composition, one thing, and what matchmaking, well, yeah, whatever matchmaking puts you into it. The team composition is pretty much huge, and obviously rezos, that actually does come into play to a degree, as long as, because sometimes matchmaking will just be like, all right, we're going to give you, and like I said earlier, in my case, sometimes I had literally a couple matches where half the team was triple rezos, and we were against a full 8 team of 3 to 5k rezos. So it's like, oh, if this doesn't say forced loss, which it was on it, then I don't know what does. So that's That's just how it goes. It's just how the matchmaking algorithm system likes to work. It keeps you within a certain range of a win-loss, no matter what. It affects everybody. So it's whatever. So you just kind of take it in stride and just be like, haha, okay, whatever, next. That kind of deal. But anyway, getting back to the builds. The Ice Storm, I'm really not necessarily going to have to show all of these here. But the Ice Storm with the slow time helmet still works fairly well. Even with the reduced revolutions on the spins from the slow time helmet, it still works. It still does what it needs to. The Bluster Crux Ice Wind is the key thing, because it still traps and pulls players in once every 4 seconds, and that's it, because that's the duration of the skill. And that's it. And then you can do it again, because there's no real, I don't think there's any real diminishing returns from that necessarily. Now, other ones I've tried out recently is, of course, the Burn Beam with the Ice Crystal. I had various, hit or miss on that one as well, as you would any matchup, because you're still prey to matchmaking of the game itself. Whatever system they use, whatever piece of trash that we all know it is, whatever they use, you're still, you still fall prey to that. No matter what you try to say, it's still going to come up and eventually get you, because it's like, oh, I got 3 in a row wins or something. It's like, cool. And then, oh, what is this? And then sometimes also with the queue times, I've noticed they go a lot longer, it seems, sometimes, whenever it's really trying to figure out what to do with you next. Some of these queue times I've been seeing anymore from like 5, 6, 7 minutes, depending. So I don't know if it's as bad for anybody else out there, but that's some of the queue times I've been getting lately. And towards the end of last season, it started to happen that way as well, which is odd, because we're usually in that certain bracket, and by that point we're established with the same group of people. But I don't know. But seeing as how that we are on a new season and still pushing up to legend ranks, there's going to be a lot of hit or miss. I can't really track my points on the wins and losses. However, I do know it's a very slow, very, very, very slow climb right now. Especially for me, I know resonance does come into play with determining how many points you get on win-loss, more so than I don't want to say more so than anything, but last season, as a free-to-play, with my resonance of 18, 1830, whatever, my win-loss points at Legend, anyway, I was able to track, because you could actually see the plus and minuses. Wins was plus 12. That's it. Losses was minus 13. So I was still taking a deficit from losses over wins, so it didn't, even itself out. I was still gradually getting, having to take losses more so than wins by a point. But still, like I said, that's it. That's what my, cut was for my resonance at Legend, was plus 12, minus 13. Right now, I can't gauge it, but it is crawling. It is crawling as far as making progress up and down. It still seems like the losses probably take more points away, obviously, than the wins. So that is still a factor. And I think that's just the entire time that you're playing. It's going to be that way. But let me see here. Leaderboards. Let's go. Or no, Battlegrounds. Okay, there we go. So yeah, this is the win rate currently. Still in gold 3. And I'm basically at the mercy of now see they're here, they got 46 win rate percent, but their resonance is much higher than mine. For a while they were actually in second, and let's see, resonance currently here is only at just under 5k. I think I've seen them at 5k Yes, they actually had 5K put together at one point, just slightly over. So this is whatever they got on right now is slightly under. But don't mean to put anybody, you know, on the mark here, but just to give you an idea. And then up here, of course, let's see, they got they play way more matches than I do, and that even still more than I do. I know it's crazy to think about, but they do. They're currently they're under 3K. Okay, this isn't their usual PvP setup here anyway. I don't think. No, it's not. Yeah, it isn't. Usually they have in PvP. I've seen mid 3K, and I know they can go all the way up to 4K if they really wanted to. But yeah. Anyway, so their resos are obviously, let me just straight out there, higher than mine. Some of these other ones are too, but they don't play as often as the rest of us, obviously. So that's also a factor. But what I said earlier about the minus win-loss minus when I was in Legend, currently we're not even there yet. I can't really track the deficits as well because it just basically, you get a little slider bar. But I am, like I said, at the mercy of a couple things. Higher resonance players are going to get more points than I will, which is why they're pretty close here. And they're in gold 2, I'm in gold 3. My win rate is this compared to theirs. However, their resonance is basically almost triple mine. So they're going to get more points on the wins than I will. I am clawing to get, you know, push the ranks higher. Clawing, because it takes way more, and I'm getting very, very small point gains on wins here. So that's what you have to expect, and that's been proven. I think there was like maybe some Reddit post or something about this in the past, and I noticed it first and foremost. It's like you get to a certain threshold, and then you're kind of stuck there, and then they'll only give you so much. I've gotten, in the past, +0, or was it +0 or -0 on a win or something before, and I'm like, what is a minus on a win? What is this? So yeah, it's like I hit the cap for my resonance, and then there was just, I wouldn't go any further. I couldn't go any higher. There is a certain cap eventually, a hard cap actually. It won't happen yet, obviously, but if I really want to see larger point gains on wins and such, I'd pretty much have to stop basically doing Battlegrounds for a bit and just cut way back on it and let everybody else kind of, you know, climb up. And then once I hop back in again, I'll get a couple games in, and then I'll see a larger point spread again. But anyway, that's that. But the whole point again of this video was kind of talking about that, I suppose, because it is very relevant. It is a thing, and I've prattled on as I usually do. But yeah, again, with the builds, all builds have viability. You just got to find what you like, what feels good for you. It's still just going to boil down to, you're always going to be at the mercy of the matchmaking algorithm system in this game, and whether it wants to force a loss upon you. You'll know when it does. It's blatantly obvious. It's just how it goes. They keep you at a, like I said before, they keep you at a certain percentage win rate, win-loss rate. That's just how it is. So don't get discouraged when those matches happen, because it's like, oh yeah, whatever. But again, back to the builds. Pick what you like. I've had, you know, success and not success with, you know, the Ice Storm build. It all depends on who you're up against, what your team is on your side is doing, if they coordinate well with you or not, that kind of thing. You're always at the mercy of that. So again, matchmaking, you're at the mercy of what team you get put together with, your class composition, and what build everybody else is running, and how, you know, their synergy, basically. Team synergy is what I guess you're really looking for here. Try to be a team player. You know, don't go around and try to think, oh, I'm going to do this by myself. It's like, no. You may think that, Some of the whales, maybe, but I mean, they are still reliant on the rest of the team to at least do something. So try to work together with the people you got around you. Try not to be, you know, when things are just going really bad, it happens. Move on. Don't get all like, oh, start pointing fingers and this and that and so on and so forth, and people just get, oh, and they start typing. It's like you're wasting time typing these unfortunate, you know, and unnecessary insults to people when it's just the game, okay? So stop wasting time typing. Keep pushing as much as you can in the match, because by you sitting there keyboard warrioring it, you're wasting everybody's time and effort, because then you're not putting forth any more yourself. But anyway, I've rambled on long enough on that one, but you know, the long and short of it, too long, didn't watch, I guess, kind of whatever here at the end is all the builds are a lot more viable now than they used to be. They brought up, you know, the damage on beams, so I'm seeing it a lot more obviously in PvE. Honestly, I think it still falls pretty short as far as PvE stuff goes. The torrent and various other things, even the black holes, the meteor mark pants and such, all that stuff I think does, and the disintegration shoulders even, that does the AoE armor break effect. I still think a lot of those are a lot more viable as far as PvE goes, but in PvP, the beam build, you know, I played it forever obviously on this channel, and I was using it even before it got buffed, so it worked at times then even, so it's obviously going to work now. It's just now everything's brought a little bit better, I guess, in line with each other for once. So all in all, so far it feels good. The balance is okay, and there you go. Play what you want, have fun again with what you want, try out some, don't be afraid to try out some of the builds. I did a lot of testing, like pretty much, I don't want to say full days testing on the same builds, but I try to really, like, you know, get a lot of samples of obviously various teams and various compositions and various players to say, okay, this one is medium-ish, this one's better than this one by a little bit, etc., that kind of thing. And there's a couple other ones I still want to try yet, so I'm far from done with you know, just playing around with some other ones. But anyway, thanks for watching, everybody. Stay safe out there as always in this world on fire, and until the next time, let me know down in the comments if you actually want to see some of these build combinations. Like I said, it's a work in progress. There's still some set pieces and such that I really don't have, you know, just on hand ready to go at the ready. And thing is, at this point at 1163, we're approaching Inferno 5 at 1200, so I'm not going to be wasting a lot of my current I4 wisps to craft a bunch just to make some other things work. So, but anyway, till next time, everybody, catch you later, stay safe as always, bye bye.